Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to learn Unit 6 of Class 7, that is Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. So, why is this chapter important? Because it helps us understand the different types of forest and vegetations found in different parts of the world. For example, in the equatorial region, there is a heavy rainfall throughout the year. So what kind of forest do we get there? Exactly tropical evergreen forest. Now if we move to the temperate region, the climate changes and cooler weather, less rainfall, and what's where we find that is temperate evergreen forest. See, vegetation depends on the land, climate, and surrounding environment. Once you understand how a region works, the temperature, the rainfall, soil, then remembering which vegetation grows there becomes super easy. Okay. Let's start with the first type, that is tropical evergreen forest. These forests are found near the equator and close to the tropics. And here there is a heavy rainfall throughout the year, and that's why the trees remain green all the time. Okay. In this forest, trees do not shed their leaves altogether. Remember this line, they don't shed. Okay. That's a direct question type of UPSC loves to ask. Okay. The trees here are hardwood. Examples include rosewood, ebony, and mahogany. Okay. These names are very important. Make sure you remember them. Now, the second one is tropical deciduous forest, also known as monsoon forest. They are found in large part of India, northern Australia, and Central America. Here, the trees shed their leaves in the dry season to conserve water. Okay, again, this is important. UPSC has asked this question many times. In fact, around 2020 and 2021, similar questions were repeated. Okay, and common trees were found here are sal, teak, neem, and shisham. So always remember when you hear deciduous, think shedding of leaves in dry seasons. Okay. Next, we have temperate evergreen forest. These are found in the mid-latitudinal coastal regions, mainly along in eastern margins of continents. For example, South China and Southeast Brazil. These forests have a mix of hardwood and softwood trees like oak and pine. They stay green most of the year, but with a cooler climate compared to the tropical forest. Now the temperate deciduous forest. As we move towards higher latitudes, the temperature becomes cooler and we find this type of forest. They are found in places like the northeastern part of USA, China, and New Zealand. The main trees here are oak, ash, and beech, and you should clearly understand these are temperate region forests. So if you know which countries fall in the temperate zone, you will easily remember where these forests are found. Okay. Next is Mediterranean vegetation. Now this one is a bit special. It's mostly found along the western southwest margins of continents and not to the east. We will see this type of vegetation around the Mediterranean Sea in Europe, North Africa, and Western Asia. The climate here is dry and hot in the summer and mild with some rain in winter. And common trees and plants include ivy, oak, and like oranges and lemons. Okay, and people often practice orchard farming here. That's why it's something called as orchards of the world. Finally, we have the coniferous forests, also known as taiga forest, and these are found in the higher latitudes and high mountain regions like Himalayas and parts of Canada and Russia. Since the climate is cold, these trees are cone-shaped with the needle-like leaves to prevent snow from collecting on them. Common trees here are pine, fir, okay, and these are the mostly softwood trees used for making paper and furniture. Let's move on to the next part, that is grassland. The first one is tropical grassland. These grasslands are found on the either side of the equator and extend up to the tropics. Here the rainfall is moderate to low, so instead of tall trees, the grasses dominate the landscape. Okay, the perfect example is savanna grassland of Africa. You might have seen the pictures of these regions, wide open lands with animals like elephants, zebras, giraffes, deer, and roaming freely. Now, here's something interesting you might wonder. Africa lies on the equator, right? So why does it also have a huge desert regions like Sahara where there is almost no rainfall? Let's understand. It's all because of air circulation and pressure winds. The equatorial regions gets heavy rainfall due to the rising warm air that forms clouds. But as this air moves away from the equator around 20 degree to 30 degree north and south latitudes, it descends. When air descends, it becomes dry and warm, which prevents cloud formation and rainfall. That's why regions like the Sahara Desert in North Africa are extremely dry. They lie in the subtropical high pressure zone. So the western parts near the equator may get some rain, but the interior and northern parts remain dry. That's the scientific reason behind the Africa having both lush grassland and vast desert. Now, the second type is temperate grassland. These are found in the mid-latitude zones, usually in the interior parts of continents, away from the sea. Because of this, rainfall is moderate and seasonal. And the grasses here are short but very nutritious, making them perfect for animal grazing and cattle rearing. Okay. The next talk about thorny bushes. These are found in dry desert-like regions where rainfall is very little. Such areas are usually on the western margins of continents in tropical desert. Because of scanty rainfall and scorching heat, vegetation is sparse and plants here adapt to survive. They have thorns instead of leaves to reduce water loss. You will find plants like acacia and date palm, and they grow quickly during a short rainy seasons and remain dormant for the rest of the year. Okay. And also we have the tundra vegetation. This type of found in polar regions of Europe, Asia, and North America. It's extremely cold and the ground remains frozen for the most of the year. That's why trees can't grow here. So that's the end of Unit 6, the natural vegetation and wildlife. We learned about different forests, grasslands, desert, and tundra vegetation and how climate and rainfall shape them. If you understand this logically, you don't need to memorize. It's all like a story of nature. And yes, I will be uploading the next unit very soon. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.